Hey, what's up? Today's video, we're going to change in the air conditioning compressor on my wife's Ford Taurus. It is making a hell of a noise. The clutch on the compressor itself is shot to hell. It's actually flopping in the wind, so to speak. It's not going to be an easy job. There is a couple of things I'm going to try to see if I can get it out without killing myself. First of all, it's not in an easy place to get to. Let's just go take a look at it. Alright, the air conditioning compressor is down below right over there. This is where the lines hook into the manifold. From my understanding is there is an easier way to do this without having to take it all this apart here. Serpentine belt is going to have to come off. Fuse box is going to have to be moved out of the way. Both fans have to be removed. And I might have to take the shroud off from underneath to get to the compressor bolts. Once I get all that out, I should be able to take that compressor and slide it across here and then up. Don't know if that's going to happen, but let's get started. Alright, first things first. Belt is off and out of the way. All I do is I use 2 wrenches. Use one as a leverage and then I just pop it up. Alright, next step, let's get the fans out. I took out the fuse box. It's just 2 clips. With the screwdriver, you pop the clip back and it slides right off the bracket. One here and one here. Take it, tie it up. I use some mechanics wire to tie it up and get it out of the way. Alright, one fan's out. I'm going to get the other one. On these fans, there's only one screw, which is at the top. Right here. So the fan's in like that, screws up top. You got to get the connector out. To get the connector out, there's a hole here. Put a screwdriver through, push the tab, and it should pop right out. The electrical wiring is also pinned into this with a little mount. So you got to get those electrical wiring off the fan. So you take the fans, set them aside. Alright, now that the fans are out, gives me a little bit of room here to work with. Now I'm just going to disconnect all the connectors on the compressor themselves. Before I go any further, one thing I should have said in the beginning of the video is if there's Freon in this system, take it to the garage that can vacuum that Freon out safely. You know, that way you're not polluting the environment. That's all I got before you even start this job. Obviously, if you had a leak and that's why you're doing work on the AC, then you wouldn't have any Freon. But if you do, the system's charged, just have it evacuated before you do anything. Now that we got all the electrical plugs disconnected that go to the compressor, and the O2 sensor and all that is disconnected and out of the way, go ahead and take the hoses going into the compressor off, and then we're going to start loosening that compressor. There's 4 bolts, 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. And before you take this apart, this manifold or the hoses off of that compressor, I'm going to recommend that you at least spray that down with some soapy water and then rinse it off. In case there's any dirt, and there is dirt on that hose and that manifold, you get that off of this so you don't get that inside the system. So I'm just using laundry detergent with some water, and I'm just going to spray the whole area down. Alright, now that it's clean, I'm going to go ahead and remove those hoses. Alright, 1 bolt on the back of that manifold, 10mm bolt, and that whole thing comes right up. Now that should just come right off of there, and that's off and out of the way. Alright, now there's 4 bolts. Like I said, there's 2 up top, and there's 2 on the bottom. I'm not going to be able to get the bottom bolts out. I don't think they'll slide out, but we'll see what happens. Alright, all the air conditioning compressor bolts are out. 3 of them, I should say. 1 you can't take out, which is the top one on the left side as you're looking at the compressor. That's going to have to come out with the compressor. That one, there's not enough room to slide that 1 bolt out, but there is enough room for the other 3. Now, this is the moment of truth. We've got to get that compressor out of there. Wish me luck. Okay, got that bolt out. Alright, compressor fell down a little bit, gave me enough room to get the bolt out. Now, see if I can get this compressor to slide. Get these wires out of the way. There it is. Oh, there it is. A lot easier than what everybody's making it out to be. So there's your compressor. That came out pretty easy. Look at this compressor. Look at that. That was the noise we were getting. And believe it or not, it was still working. Look at that. Holy crap. That was bad. That was really bad. Look, all the bushings are gone in here. So it's junk. The compressor still works, but the whole clutch assembly is junk. I was going to replace just the clutch assembly on the compressor, But man, they were like $130 just for the assembly, plus all the work I'd have to do to get this in there, shim it right and all that. I was like, you know what, I'm not messing with that. I don't have the tools that I used to have to do this kind of work. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the whole compressor. So I went online, I looked at rebuilds, and I did some review research, and the rebuilds are junk. People are putting rebuilds in that lasted 1 to 6 months. Now I'm the kind of guy where I learn from other people's mistakes. I'm not making that same mistake, especially when the information's out there. If the rebuilds, 90% of the reviews are bad, I'm good. I'm good. $180 for a rebuild, $245 for a brand new condenser from Denso. That's what I ordered, and that's what I got in stock. Or I got here at the garage. It just came in a couple days ago. All right, so that does work. All right, you don't have to take the whole engine apart like some people are doing on their videos. You don't have to take the power steering. None of that has to come off. Take the 2 radiator fans off. Disconnect the manifold from the back of the compressor. Take all the wiring off that you need to take off to get the compressor off. There's one here for the clutch, one for the pressure switch on the manifold. And this thing slides across, up over the manifold, the exhaust manifold, and right between the radiator and the hose. Be careful not to hit the radiator, because it is kind of a tight fit, but it's doable. And you don't even have to take the bomb shroud out. That's how simple it was for me. But yeah, wow. That is incredible. I'm surprised I didn't blow the freaking belt on this thing. Brand new Denso compressor. Brand new from the factory. Oh yeah. Look at that. No movement. Isn't that nice? Alright, I'm not going to get too deep into it, but just to let you know, the old compressor, you have to dump the oil out of it and measure it. Dump the oil out of this new compressor. Whatever came out of the old one, you're going to put the same amount back into the new compressor. That way you have about the right amount of oil in the system. Alright, that's all set. I put the cap on. I'm going to leave the cap on. I don't want dirt or anything getting in here. Until we're ready to put that in, I'll take this off. Now, same process. I'm going to slide it through. Alright, let's get this down in there. I'll go down this way. Being careful not to hit the radiator. Take your time, don't rush it. We are good. Now I'm gonna put gotta put this bolt back in before I get it all the way up in place. 4 bolts are in. Compressor's in place. Connected the oxygen sensors back up. Connected the clutch. All right, the electrical connector for the clutch. Took off the protective plastic piece on the compressor. Now before you put the manifold back on, or the hoses, whatever you want to call it, make sure there's no dirt or anything on that, all right, in between the compressor and the hoses. There should be 2 O-rings on that compressor already, all right, brand new O-rings that should be on there. Make sure they're there before you put the manifold back in place. Now you line it up, and then you put your bolt through. I'm going to go ahead and put the serpentine belt back on, or attempt to anyway. Before I go any further, I just want to make sure the belt is actually correct. Don't worry about the compressor, it's not charged, so it ain't going to come on. Make sure everything's lined up. Nice and quiet too, no more rattling noise. I'm going to go ahead and put the fans back in. Both fans are in, and all I got left is this connector right on the manifold. All right, let's get the fuse box in and we're done. Watch your fingers. We're done. This whole job took me an hour and a half. Nothing had to be done underneath, as you saw. Everything was done from up top, and man, it was fairly easy. If you guys want to see how or what the next step is, I got another video. It's going to be vacuuming and charging the system. So if you want to see it, click on the link. You can check it out. As far as the air conditioning compressor on a 3.0 liter, wasn't that bad. Wasn't bad at all. I was surprised. You all be safe. Have a beautiful day. And God bless. Bye-bye.